One of the really neat things about SQL Server, and indeed most database management systems, is that you can query the system itself to discover internal implementation details. So for example, we can run a command such as select star from sys.tables. And when we execute this, we will see all of the system tables, which in this case appears in the far left-hand column. So we already know that we've got a table called color and another called city because we've seen them in previous demos, but there's also one called occupation and another one called president. So there are 4 tables in this system, and this query has just told us this straight away. So we're going to use this query a little bit later on to return all those internal table names out to the web application. Now, one of the other things you'll see here in the results set, now I just mentioned name, which was obviously the name of the table, is object ID. And this is the unique ID of the table. So every one of these underlying objects in the database has its own ID. I'm going to go and copy the color ID because we're going to use this in just a moment. So I'll copy that value. And this time I want to run a different system command. So let's select star from sys.columns. And we'll execute that. And now we've got quite a large number of results. And in fact, if you scroll down through here, you can see just how extensive that really is. Now what we want to do is we want to filter this down because at the moment we're getting all sorts of results from system objects as well as the actual tables that support the application in this database. So let's just jump down a line and we'll add a where clause in here. And we're going to look for that object ID I just showed you. And we'll just paste it in here. Let's now run that. And then here are the columns of our color table, color ID and name. So this has actually been made pretty easy. Sys.tables to get the table names out. The object ID is the individual ID of the table, which we can then use to filter the results from sys.columns to discover all the column names. So now we've got these 2 simple queries we can run to get all the tables and all the columns. And so long as we can actually get those results back out through the web interface, we can discover the entire internal implementation of this database. So let's jump back to the web app and get this data out via the browser.